Hey guys, I wanted to make a video about the newest trailer for Star Wars Episode 9. And the first thing I want to talk about is Palpatine. Now, I had a theory a while back ago that Palpatine was going to be in Episode 9. So I just kind of want to take this moment and go boom, drop the mic. Because I began to suspect that he was going to be in Episode 9 with several things. One, Ian McDermott said in an interview, if there's anything with Palpatine in the future, I will be playing Palpatine. And then, if you watch Star Wars Rebels, Palpatine is jumping through portals, looking for mirrors and stuff. And in the newest Star Wars Battlefront game, one of his lines, his dialogue, if you play as Palpatine, is he says, "I am eternal." So, all these things, these clues, I was like, okay, he's going to be in Episode 9. And also in the Last Jedi concept art book, and they talked about this in an interview, that originally there was going to be a Sith Lord that was going to pop out of a mirror and show up to Luke, and Luke was going to see a Sith ghost. And I remember thinking, I was like, well, what Sith ghost would he know except Palpatine? Like, he wouldn't know who Dooku was or Darth Maul or anyone else. Like, that's the only Sith Lord he would know would be Palpatine. And I remember thinking, if Darth Maul, who got his legs chopped off, can come back, Palpatine can come back. And if you have played the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic video games, if you've played the first one, Revan talks to a Sith ghost. He talks to a Sith ghost. And in Star Wars, the Clone Wars, the television show, the Lost Missions, which those episodes came out a year before Force Awakens came out, there is an episode with Yoda where Yoda's like, no, it's impossible that Sith could be in the afterlife. Like, so there were all these clues where I was like, okay, he's going to be in Episode 9. And if you think about Star Wars as a whole, and when I would watch every single movie in the series, I would try to not just view it as an individual movie. I would try to view it as a whole saga, as one big story, and not just an individual film. And if you look at the overall story of Star Wars, the villain is Palpatine. He's the villain in the original series. He's the villain in the prequels. So it makes sense that he would be the villain in this series, in the last trilogy. It makes sense that he would be in Episode 9. He's not only has he been the villain in the film series, he's been the villain in the Clone Wars television show. He's the villain in Star Wars Rebels. He's the villain in every Star Wars expanded universe story. So it makes complete sense that he is in Episode 9. And in the newest Star Wars Battlefront game, there's a character, Aiden's father. He says that Palpatine had a contingency plan. He had a backup plan. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, I mean, and that smug bastard always has a plan. Like when he said in the trailer, I've been waiting a long time for this and whatnot. He always is waiting. He always has a plan. And Palpatine always uses some Sith crony, some Sith puppet, some Sith goon. Even in Star Wars Rebels, there was the Inquisitors. So he always has puppets and tools that he uses all the time. Darth Maul, Dooku, Snoke, like I said before, the Sith Inquisitors in Star Wars Rebels. He always has pawns. And when my brother and I watched The Last Jedi for the first time in the movie theater together, and we heard the part where Luke is talking to Rey about Palpatine and how, he was like right under the Jedi's noses and blah, blah, blah. My brother looked at me and whispered, like, why is he talking about Palpatine? Like, there's a reason why he's bringing this up. You don't just put those little details in there for no reason, like for him to say that. So we were like, Palpatine's being brought up in The Last Jedi. And during the Star Wars Rebels finale, a lot of fans had wondered if the whole thing with the mirrors and the portals and all that, if that somehow was kind of tying into the whole immortality thing when Palpatine talks to Anakin in the prequels about, we can discover the secret of immortality and, that whole spiel. And so people had wondered if that kind of was sort of hinting towards that, if that whole thing with the mirrors and the portals and Palpatine looking for that in Star Wars Rebels tied into the immortality thing. And, like Palpatine said, some consider the dark side of the Force to be unnatural. So it's not a surprise that he is in Episode 9. And I was recently watching Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, and I was watching the scene when they try to bring the White Witch back to life, and she's trapped in the glass mirror, and she's like, one drop of Adam's blood and you set me free. And I was kind of wondering, I'm like, are they going to do something similar like that with Palpatine? Like, is he purely a Sith ghost, or is he kind of half dead but could be brought back to life fully, if that makes any sense? And I began wondering, I'm like, are they gonna do something like that? Like, when I was watching that scene from Prince Caspian, I was like, are they gonna pull something similar like that? Also, a while back ago, Dave Filoni had said that in an interview that he would have loved to have brought all kinds of Star Wars characters onto Rebels. And he said that he couldn't just bring Star Wars characters for fan service, that even though he wanted to, he couldn't. That he could only bring ones that were going to be used in the future, the franchise, future storylines of Star Wars. And the characters that were in Star Wars Rebels that were featured were Leia, Lando, he's in the trailers, Palpatine in the trailers, Darth Maul, the Mandalorians, Obi-Wan, Yoda, the clones, and even though she wasn't in the movie series, Ahsoka was brought back, who's become a major character in the Star Wars franchise. Paul Guerrero was featured, which makes sense because I think Rogue One came out around the same time as one of the seasons of Star Wars Rebels. And the other characters that were featured were the droids, obviously, and Anakin, which that makes sense. So going back to Palpatine, I don't know how Kylo and Rey will truly kill him. In the Knights of the Old Republic video games, they talk about how if you cut someone off from the Force, that you can kill them, and how you can cut a Force user off from the Force. So I don't know if that's how they're going to truly kill him, Obviously, they're going to fight him, and it looks like that he wants them both killed. And in his voiceover, he talks about you coming together will be your undoing. And when he says that voiceover in the trailer, even though it's showing a clip of Rey in the ship with the gang, that's about Kylo and Rey. When he's talking about that you coming together will be your undoing, that's got to be about Kylo and Rey. In the trailer, there's a clip where it looks like an ocean planet, and it looks like there's this building or infrastructure that's rising out of the ocean. And to me, when I was watching that clip, I thought that it was Palpatine causing that. That was my impression. And we don't know exactly like how all the Force Ghost stuff works, because in The Last Jedi, Yoda zapped the tree, so he was able to physically cause damage. So I don't know how they're gonna completely tackle that. And like I mentioned earlier, I wonder if in episode 9 they're kind of going to give the answer of how the whole immortality works that was talked about in the prequels, but we didn't get a full answer. And it was never explained how Darth Maul came back. There's an episode in Clone Wars where his brother goes to find him. It's a very trippy episode, and Darth Maul is just like, I don't know how I got here. I don't know how I lived. I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, he has no memory. So there's always been like this tease of the whole, immortality thing, but we haven't had an answer of that. So we might get an answer to that in episode 9, or at least some of an answer. But Palpatine, his biggest flaw, what he always fails at, what that smug bastard always gets wrong, is love every time. And so Kylo and Rey love each other, and that's what's going to get Palpatine, is because Kylo and Rey love each other, and Palpatine always underestimates love. That's what he always underestimates. That's what always gets him. So thank you for taking the time and watching my video. I know I really just talked about Palpatine when it came to the trailer, but I really wanted to talk about Palpatine, and there's so much to talk about with that latest trailer that I probably could do several videos, because there's so much to break down from the newest trailer. And I could do another video talking about Palpatine, because there's even more to talk about with him. And if you hadn't watched my Palpatine episode 9 theory video that I did a while back, I'm going to put it in the description box so you can watch it. And yet again, I just want to go boom, drop the mic. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I plan on making more videos. This year has just been really hard with my health. I have a chronic illness called hemiplegic migraines, HM for short. They're not regular migraines. I honestly wish it was called something else. It's very similar to MS. The symptoms are very similar to MS. It's a neurological disease. And this year has been hard with dealing with my HM. So I haven't been putting out videos as much as I've wanted to, because I've been dealing with that. But I'm hoping that I can get some more videos out. I've been wanting to make some more videos. I've been wanting to make a Marvel theory video, but I don't know if I will do that in time before the Marvel shows come out on Disney Plus. I also want to make a few more Star Wars theory videos about the newest Star Wars trailer, because like I said before, there was a lot in there, and I have theories about what I saw in the trailer. I'm also going to upload an original short film onto my YouTube channel, It's a short film that my brother and I have been working on. He is an executive producer and editor for a show called Living the Water Life. It's on Carbon TV. You can stream it. If you're into fishing and water activities and traveling, then you probably would enjoy the show. But anyway, so we've been working on this short film, and it's based off of a short story that I've written. I'm a writer. I have written different articles. Some of my articles have been published on the Huffington Post, and they've been published on different media outlets such as BuzzFeed. I was a writer for Her Campus, which is a huge online web magazine basically for college girls. I have also written music articles for bands such as Blackstone Cherry, Five Finger Death Punch, Diamond Dixie. They have a huge following on Instagram. They've opened up for Florida Georgia Line. They are a country music duo and they're really good, so I suggest you guys checking out their channel. But anyway, so I'm a writer and I'm really excited to get this short film out. We've been working on it, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm hoping that we can get some original short films because we've been wanting to make some and we've been wanting to put them on YouTube so everybody could see it instead of just doing it at a film festival where not everyone can get the chance to see it. So we wanted to make one and put it on YouTube so everybody could have access to see it. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully that will be coming on my channel soon. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!